Imagine that you are so dead inside you cannot care about what happens to your body. And when I say gang raped, there was many gang rapes over several hours. Imagine queues of men raping you everywhere. Society will refuse to care. After all, it cannot be rape if the man has paid for it.
Other men were involved too, taking pictures, using me, laughing at me, hurting me, and laughing more if they got a response. I'd shake and vomit before, shake and vomit after. Sometimes pass out with pain. They expect you to do anything and everything, whatever takes their fancy. It was frightening. You didn't know what you were turning up to.
When I was 23, my boyfriend trafficked me into prostitution. They took me to a brothel and made me work there for 6 months. I had to have sex with 2 or 3 men a day. I do not like myself. I can't believe my boyfriend did that to me.
And profit was what mattered. If I had my period, I had to do my shift. If I was sore and exhausted, I had to carry on. When I had an abortion and I was still bleeding, I had to do my shift. Punters could be very aggressive. In groups, they had a pack mentality. They would often be very rude and they would be grabbing and slapping and touching us in the main seating area. And I later found out that she'd tried to escape from her trafficker and he'd cut her finger off as a warning. She was too scared to go to hospital, and so she just put a bandage over the protruding bone.
I was 13 when I started working, and I worked afternoons and evenings after school, in my school uniform, no less. Not one guy ever complained or mentioned that I was too young. Different if it's a whore though, isn't it? Because, you know, how we're asking for it. I mean, whether we're children or not.
I know that oftentimes people make the connection that it's only low-class hookers who have to work on street corners that end up hurt and abused. But that's a myth. My clientele base consisted of names that groupies would want to give their firstborns for. I would accompany them on business meetings on their private jets, to different functions, to different conferences. Still, in the midst of all this, I was often beaten and ostracised.
Dressed up. The violence and the disrespect will always be there. Men regard buying a prostitute the same way as hiring a slave. They can do what they please with.
On the TV, it's always fun, always light, always a choice, a witty anecdote, entertainment.
What is choice when it comes to being prostituted? A free choice is not being prostituted to pay rent or look after your children. I don't know any prostituted women and girls that had a free choice.
It makes sense to target the Johns and criminalise them because they hold the money. They have all the power. Demand change.